Tell me about a time when you felt like you really made an impact on a client.
Yeah, so there's a couple of those, but one that comes to mind is I had a client submit an inquiry for some payroll support on a Friday, and by Monday I had matched them with a consultant who was able to get started.
Wow, that's a really quick turnaround.
Yeah.
What industry were they in?
Yeah, so they were actually in the construction space, about 350 employees, just really struggling with their payroll process. Obviously, in that kind of environment, there's just a lot of turnover, time, shift differentials, all those sorts of things. And luckily, the consultant I matched her with was able to get in there, ask the right question, provide them with some quick wins, and make sure they were compliant moving forward.
Yeah. What kind of impact, like long-term impact, do you think that's going to lead?
Yeah, so long-term, it helped them with compliance, helped them with their employee culture as well, because now their employees can rely on, of course, getting paid on time and getting paid correctly, and overall just contributed to the operational success of the company. Payroll is a pretty big deal anyway.
Yeah, that's awesome. It sounds like Rockcrest is pretty efficient at finding consultants and getting them matched. Is there any other examples that you can think of where you have a similar story?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, in this situation, we had that client who needed support right away, and we got that quick turnaround. But I also have some clients who just take a little bit longer. One example that comes to mind is a client in the manufacturing space, 10,000 employees, quite a lot. So a big difference from the other client. And they took quite a few months to kind of determine the right timeline, narrow in their budget, determine, who would be the right fit. I ended up sending through probably 4 or 5 consultants over the span of a couple months just to have interviews. And at the end of the day, the client just needed to make sure they made the right decision for the consultant they chose. So while it took a little bit longer to get someone started, I was able to meet them where they needed to be met, match the pace that they needed, and ultimately make sure they were matched with the right person.
So is timeline and budget the typical barriers to entry that you often face?
I wouldn't necessarily call them barriers. I would say that it's helpful if a client knows right from the initial call, hey, we need someone by this date and we have this budget. But not all clients know exactly what they need, and that's what we're here for. So the great thing about our consultants is if they need to provide an estimate to help a client determine, hey, is this project viable for us? Is this project right for us at this time? They're able to hop on a call with you. These interviews cost nothing but their time, and really just talk through their processes, make sure that they are able to provide an estimate so that this client can plan ahead, plan their budget, plan the project team, make sure that they have all the resources in place to make the project a success.
That's awesome. It sounds like you guys do a really good job of walking beside the client to just help them figure out maybe they don't know what their problem is, and that's something that you can help them with.
Yeah, that's something we see a lot. So, from the initial call, we get as much info as we can and match them with the right person, and the account managers are there still throughout the entirety of the project to handle any questions or concerns as they come up and help manage expectations with the consultant.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.